Hello sewing people of the internet. In this video I'm going to briefly show you my approach to evaluating a sewing machine and trying to isolate a problem with it. I'll tell you up front, I didn't really fix anything, but it still might be interesting to take a look at it. And it's kind of a neat machine to take apart and look inside. So let's take a look. Before we get started, I just need to emphasize I am not trained as a sewing machine mechanic. I don't have any professional sewing machine mechanical experience, and doing anything that I do to your machine may result in breaking your machine. So follow my lead at your own risk. This is being presented for entertainment purposes only. So I've been working on this, actually that's not true. I've been working on this machine for a friend for, off and on for several weeks now. That machine's a Pfaff Hobbymatic 801, and it's a machine that's actually from Germany and uses a 220 volt European style motor. The motor went bad on the machine. I did a bunch of diagnostic stuff trying to figure out if I could get the motor working again, and I failed to do that. And it's very difficult to find a motor for that machine. We've been scouring the internet for some time and have had no luck, but my friend who owns the machine found a US model Hobbymatic 807, which is more or less the same machine. And so she bought that, got it off eBay, and the idea is if this machine works well enough, then she'll just use this machine, and if the motor works well but the machine doesn't work well, then I'll swap out the motor into the other machine. In this video we're just going to take a look at this machine. I know almost nothing about these machines, and just kind of evaluate the condition and see how it's functioning, and possibly make a decision as to whether or not we're going to make this machine work or just take the motor out. So I've threaded the machine. It's pretty easy to thread. I think I've got it right. I have a copy of the manual, but I didn't use it. I just threaded it. It seems to be fine. And I've already sewn one test seam with it. The stitches seem fine. But if you listen, that motorcycle was not what I wanted you to listen for. It sounds like there's some resistance or rubbing or some mechanical issue. The machine's functioning fine, but I'm confident that's not supposed to sound that way. Hopefully this is in focus. So looking at it more carefully, I noticed that the foot is not parallel to the the path that the fabric should take. You can see the difference in this seam line. It's twisted this way, I don't know, like maybe 15 degrees or something. And I took a foot off of the other machine and put it on just to ensure that it wasn't a problem with the foot itself, and it's not. It's definitely the presser foot bar, the vertical bar that the presser foot is attached to. So now I need to take a look inside and see if this is just out of adjustment or maybe something is bent. It would probably be a good idea to unplug this thing. It's probably not the best idea to be sticking a screwdriver into a machine that's plugged in, especially a vintage machine of questionable condition. Both from a wiring standpoint, I don't want to get shocked or electrocuted, and I don't want the machine to suddenly start running, or maybe I accidentally step on the pedal that's right next to my foot and jam the screwdriver into the mechanism, maybe damage something. So there's a screw right here behind the light bulb that I believe will allow me to adjust the rotation of that the presser foot bar. Plug it back in and see if that made any difference to the noise. It might be slightly less noisy, but there's still a sound I don't love. Yeah, no, it's still pretty much the same. I'm going to try a mechanic's trick of putting my ear, or putting a screwdriver to my ear and then touching different parts of the machine to see if I can isolate where the noise is coming from. I kind of feel like it might be down in the bottom. Yeah, it definitely sounds to me, there's no way I can make you hear what I'm hearing, but it sounds much more prominent when I put my ear to the screwdriver and touch anything on the arm down here. So I'm going to unplug the machine again and look further into the bottom. Everything seems to be working smoothly. Tip, if you're starting to work on your own machine, sometimes a longer screwdriver is counterintuitively better for reaching hard to reach screws. You get a better angle on it. I might need a right angle one for this one though. So I think maybe we're hearing gear noise from these plastic gears. I'm trying to visually inspect, there's a lot of plastic gears on this machine. I'm trying to visually inspect them to see if there's wear or missing teeth or anything. The noise is pretty consistent. It's not like, you know, one time every rotation. So I don't think it's a broken tooth. Just seems like more of a vibration. It looks like everything has been lubricated at some point and has grease and oil on it. I don't see anything that's obviously dry. So I'm most suspicious of the interplay between this gear and this gear. I don't know if I can, yeah. I feel like that is where the sound is coming from the most. I'm going to try just putting some more grease on there and see if that does anything at all. By the way, in the event that we end up changing the motor, this is where the motor lives in this machine. A lot of more modern machines conceal the motor within the body of the machine. Yet one more reason why I like older sewing machines. The sound sounds a little bit reduced to me now. Part of that might be because this big hunk of aluminum is off the bottom. Aluminum is very good at transmitting sound. So I'm going to put the machine back together, maybe do a little bit more just regular oiling, and see how it sounds. I may let it sit overnight. I don't really have a lot of time to work on this machine right now. I'm just trying to quickly do something while I have a moment. So maybe we'll stop here for now and then see if that made any difference. Notice this catch for the lid is kind of integrated into the bed of the machine, and this catch was loose. Might as well tighten that up while we're here. I want to pause for a second to point out why I appreciate good engineering, because I'm kind of a dummy and just take stuff apart without thinking. And I was about to put this dial back on, it just slips onto this shaft, and I thought, oh, I didn't make note of what position it was in. This dial helps you dial in embroidery stitches, and I don't want to put it in the wrong position. Well, it has a pin that engages with a hole, so it can only go on one way. So it's at least moderately idiot-proof. So I didn't mess up. Or Pfaff didn't let me mess up. Unless I'm missing something because I didn't look at the manual, this is a very simple machine to thread. Well, I managed to disconnect the feed dogs and not re-engage them. This machine has the ability to drop the feed dogs for doing free motion embroidery and quilting and stuff. Here, oh. I'm a genius. I had it on 0 stitch length. Hey, look at that, it works fine. So this machine isn't not working, but it is noisy still. That adding the lubricant to the gears, I mean, if it helped any, I don't think it fixed the problem. So I'm still not 100% sure what's going on. I'm going to have to dig a little deeper, and that'll have to wait for another video. I basically wanted to share with you how I approach evaluating a machine and trying to isolate any problems that I can. It's unlikely that I can expertly answer any questions you have about this kind of thing, but if you have questions, feel free to post them down below. If I can help, I will, and if not, maybe somebody else can. If you like what I'm doing here, like, comment, subscribe, share, and all that good stuff. And thanks for watching. See you next time.